5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We should be live. Let me enter the attendance.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Space Triggering. And I'm so grateful to the Art in the Basin crew, which is AJ and Tim. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for attending. It is a quick hour. As you know, this is the third of standalone sessions that we've had, thanks to Art in the Basin and Poets and Writers. And I want us to have fun this evening. It is 1 hour. Hopefully you will learn some techniques, some ways of, triggering your writing and not just staying in this plane. We are multidimensional, as you know. We are creatives. We always think outside of the box, and I want you to think outside of the box. That's the whole idea, thinking outside of the box. So I'm really grateful that you're here. You should all have folders that have worksheets and different objects and things that we're going to use in the course of these sessions. Some of them have already been used in session 1 and 2. In session 3, we still have some items that you can use in your, I'll say, toolkit. So we're going to get started. In your toolkit, you have an item that Amy Joy will bring on the screen. It is called crossed ribs. Crossed ribs. You're going to see it on your in your toolkit, and you'll also see it on our screen. Crossed ribs. You will see it shortly. There it is, crossed ribs. Now, just so you know, I did this by getting a kit. It is drawn from designing and building templates. So what I did, and this is just an idea for you to try, I took the template because some people like to work in a visual model. I cut strips of it and I folded it over. So for example, sometimes, and I made that the first line, N-A-N, and then I color coded it. I used color coding to let me know if it's going to be an adjective or a verb, whatever I wanted to use. So let me give you an example. Sometimes N, colored a box, blank, but, blank, 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 and then I put an adjective. I don't know if you can see mine. Let's see if you see mine. Let's see if they can see mine. The edges that are pointing up on your screen, I cut out. I made them fold and I hid it so that I can then decide which one of these I want to use. Sometimes an apple grows large, and what I did for each one of these boxes, I color coded them so that, for example, the longer ones you see on top, I colored those all blue, and those had to be adjectives. When I cut it, I fold them over, and then I decide which one of those words I'm going to use. Okay. It's just it's a way of physically using a piece of artwork and deciding which words you're going to use for your craft. I'm going to explain it more fully in my book, but I just wanted to give you a physical representation of what you can do for your writing. And that's the whole idea. You can take a drawing. I do this with mathematical equations as well. You know that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, you also know that's Pythagorean theorem. You know that it physically looks like a right triangle. We all know that. But you can take that equation and make that a worksheet. So I'm just saying, this is a physical representation. It's in your folder, not for us to do this evening, but for you to consider. Cut out pieces of this, make the ribs, each one of these squares, either adjective, noun, verb, and then hide it from yourself and try to write a line from it. I hope it doesn't sound too confusing, but it is a way of using geometry and physicality and art at the same time. You're building your own ekphrastic piece, is what I'm saying. Your ekphrastic work doesn't always have to be something someone else drew or made. It could be something you did, you made, and you call this your ekphrastic piece. So I'm just saying, I put it in here just for you to have an idea of how you can use geometric figures, geometric shapes in your art, in your writing work. So I'll explain it fully in my book that will come out next year, God spare, and you can see what I mean. But I just wanted you to see, you see, I cut these edges here. What's on the top here? I cut and I made those fringes, so to speak, that you can add or delete any way you want. I think color coding helps as well, because then you'll always go back to that color that you want to add either a verb or an adjective. Like I said, it's completely up to you. But I want you to also understand that ekphrastic can be something that you developed. It doesn't have to be something that's already made and drawn. So just think about that. Think about that. I call it ribs, but it's really two pieces of architectural tile that I overlapped one on top of the other, that I think if you try this structure, it might be another way of triggering outside of the box how you write and what you write. Okay, so that's what that piece is about in your folder. The next piece that I want AJ to put on the screen is called Hudson Cafe. The Hudson. Now, in this exercise, to kind of warm you up, I want you to imagine that you're either the table or, I don't know, an item in the picture. But I don't want you to tell me what you are in the picture. I want you to deconstruct the picture. I want you to pick an item in the picture and describe how you feel in this scene. I can tell you it's a beautiful cafe on the Hudson River. We were having a storm. Don't tell me if you're the cloud or the sky or the sun or the pole. Don't tell me if you're the table. Don't tell me if you're a piece of the plant. I want you to be able to tell us by what you write, what you are. Maybe you're one of those buildings in the distance. Don't tell us. Let us figure it out. You've got 6 minutes. You've got 6 minutes and you're on the clock. Thank you for joining, everyone. This is Space Triggering. I went over the item in your book, in your folder, that is titled Ribs. It's a way for you to think outside of the box and you become the ekphrastic genius of that work. This is the Hudson. Don't tell me what you are. Describe for me what you are in this picture. Deconstruct this picture and describe where you are, what you are in this picture. But don't tell us. We've got to figure it out from whatever it is you write. If you don't have the folder, not to worry. AJ, which is the beautiful young lady, Art in the Basin that you see on the screen, she will put the she will put the item on the share screen so that you can see. I put items in a folder for all 3 sessions, and these, the ones we're using today, were not used in previous sessions. So I like you so. Although I said 6 minutes, I'm going to give you a little more time, but that's because I like you. And I'm so happy that Michael is here and Terry is here. Hi, Anne. Hi, Finn. Hello, Mindy. Hi, Tim. Don't tell us. There is no pressure. If you'd like to share, please do. If you don't want to share, that's quite all right. There's no pressure. I don't particularly like hosts that pressure and browbeat people and tell people you have to share. That's not this kind of party. You share if you want to share, when you want to share. Thank you for sharing, for being here, Mindy. I'm glad you can see and hear all of us. Again, don't tell us. By the way, the Hudson is a beautiful, beautiful restaurant, very family friendly. It's on the Hudson, beautiful view. We were treated so kindly. It was wonderful experience. We were the opening part of I was part of the opening act, musicians and poets for a movie viewing for children. And so it was very family friendly and it was a great experience. I like you, so I'm giving you 3 more minutes. 2 minutes remaining. One minute. Please use the reaction button. Raise your hand if you would like to share. Again, there is no pressure. All right, I see Michael. Michael has his hand raised. All right, Michael. Please unmute.
I'm working on it, just trying to do the hand first. Don't want to be one of those people who just keeps the hand up.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Michael.
Yeah. It always confuses
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Ever get the feeling someone is seeing you and seeing right through you? Like they see the whole world floating by while they're looking right in your face. I start to feel kind of incomplete, thin and weathered and worn. But hell, I've still got it going on. I know I can still be leaned on and trusted not to give way or give out. I've got some years on me, and I may be a little shaky and not as sharp as I once was. But when folks are hanging out around me, they always seem glad I am there. Let folks look through me, past me, over me. I don't care. I'm not going anywhere, and I'm fine with just being here watching the world roll by.
You are the railing or the right? The railing. Okay, I got that. You are the railing. I like that very, very much. That what was that like to do though? I think it's, we take so many objects for granted. It's just we don't think about it. But wow, that was nice. That was really very nice.
You.
Thank you, Michael. Anyone else want to share? No? Michael, I love the accent too. Yes, Mindy. I love the accent. Yes. It gave it a little more personality. You sound like a sage, There was something weather beaten, but I'm still strong here. I still got it in me. And you watch the world go by. So I think that's a wonderful thing too. That's wonderful. Anyone else like to share? What has happened with some of the previous sessions, people have gotten back to me and said, well, they've expanded upon the piece that they started here and they had a chance to go back and look at it. But that's kind of expected. That's part of what we do anyway. This is, again, it's space triggering. It's for you to think outside of the box. It's for you to sometimes be another object. So let me ask you this. I'm going to give you this to do, and you fill this out any way you want. It's an open-ended sentence. I'll tell you how I responded to it, and this goes like this. I am a rose without thorns, because I was placed in a, I am a rose without thorns, because I was placed in a, I'll give you a few minutes with that. I am a rose without thorns. I'll give you 5 minutes. You're on the clock. I placed it in the chat as well. For most of us, it's hard to think of a rose without thorns. 3 minutes. Two minutes. And if you would like to share, please use the reaction button, raise your hand, and then I'll know that you're interested in sharing. If not, that's quite all right. Okay, I'll start off. This is not complete, of course. I am a rose without thorns because I was placed in a vacuum, and we're all stripped because I was bad. I befriended a rose from another bush. Yeah, I encouraged cross-pollination. You see, and then I left it at that. Oh, I encouraged cross-pollination. Uh-oh. Woohoo! I'm what you call a wild rose. Okay. Okay. That's where that started. Okay. So again, it's just to get you started with the idea. These are prompts. These are prompts. That's all it is, but it's a different way of looking at it. Okay. Michael, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll be glad if you want to let Ann or Tim go first, seeing how I went first.
Thank you. Anne, you
Okay.
can go before Michael. Thank you. Hi. Thank you, Anne.
In this vase of a romantic dozen, I'm just one more stem. It's actually a relief. I stand tall, support my fellows, but also am supported. When I blink, 11 more are watching. Passersby are drawn to the whole bouquet, not my form alone. My red isn't too shiny, my stem too thorny. Seventh from the left, the relaxed one in the back.
Read that one more time. I like that. Seventh, and then relax. The one in the back. You got a great view. Read that again, Anne, if you don't mind.
In this vase of a romantic dozen, I'm just one more stem. It's actually a relief. I stand tall, support my fellows, but also am supported. When I blink, 11 more are watching. Passersby are drawn to the whole bouquet, not my form alone. My red isn't too shiny, my stem too thorny. Seventh from the left, the relaxed one in the back.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And look, you did it in like 5 minutes. I mean, that was really beautiful. I see it. I mean, everyone else, if you'd like to comment, feel free. And that was really beautiful. That's the joy of doing this. You never know what people are going to bring to the table, the bouquet of thoughts and ideas. That's really nice. Thank you, Anne. Thank you very much. Michael?
Okay. I'm a rose without thorns because I was placed between pages, flattened and faded and fragile with age. I am torn away from the garden where I knew those around me. Now I have no defenses and nowhere I can go. I'm seen rarely and without any pity, just a placeholder, a reminder of a time when I was young and she was so precious. And so I found myself pulled, and now she rarely remembers that I'm always near.
Please reread that one. Almost brought a tear to my eye.
Okay, that's what I'm here for. I'm a rose without thorns because I was placed between pages, flattened and faded and fragile with age. I am torn away from the garden where I knew those around me. Now I have no defenses and nowhere I can go. I'm seen rarely and without any pity, just a placeholder reminder of a time when I was young and she was so precious. And so I found myself pulled, and now she rarely remembers that I'm always near.
That was really beautiful. Really beautiful.
Yeah.
And so many people keep flowers, pressed between a page. And that sentimentality comes through so clear. It's so true. It is so true. Might be the last rose or the first rose that someone gave you, a flower or something, and I could picture it. That's what yeah. Same thing with yours, Anne. I can picture it. I can see the vase. I can see the book. I can see it. That's really
Yeah, the thing
nice.
I liked
And it's
about
interesting. Yeah.
it's just yeah, and the thing I liked about Anne's is you didn't just see like the flowers in the vase. You could see exactly, within that vase, exactly where she was and her posture and all that. I just thought that was so nicely done.
Yeah. I mean, roses with eyes that you can that know your position in the world, right? In the vase world. You know where you stand. I mean, that's really amazing. Thank you very much. Both beautiful pieces. Beautiful. Thank you. Does anyone else want to share anything? Terry. Yes, Terry, please do.
Hi, I'm in my car, but I wrote to both pieces. I am a
Okay.
rose without I am a rose without thorns, and when I'm placed in a container cut off from the vine, I will only be admired for a moment. You know the rest. I will do my best not to disappoint, but we know how this is going to end. Me discarded, shriveled, and wilting. Soon you will no longer admire me and toss me away. Or perhaps if you are sentimental, my petals will be gathered and saved in a mix of potpourri. Even dead, I can still be pretty.
It's so funny. I thought you were going to say pressed in the pages of a book. But it's so true. I use rose petals to make potpourri. That's so true. Yeah, people forget about that sometimes, but that's so true. You know how this is going to end, huh? You
Yep.
already know how this is going to end, huh?
Not going to end well, I'll tell you that much. And so the first one, I have a short piece too. I see you. I see everything. You all look like ants to me, scattering here or there, thinking you are eternal. But no, that's only me. I am what's imagined in your minds. I am real, although you can't see me, or touch me, or possess me. I like it better that way, tiny humans.
Whoa. Tiny humans. Yeah. Oh, that's Terry the Omnipotent
That's
looking
right.
at the tiny humans. CP, that was from a photo of the Hudson that she wrote to the first piece. That was before you came on. Oh yes, Terry the Magnificent looking down on those tiny humans. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Oh, thank you. Terry, are you were you the sunlight or the cloud, or I mean you were ethereal, so I mean it was like you were up
I
there.
I think I
What
was
exactly?
alluding to God.
You see, I said, right, okay, the omnipotent Terry. Yeah, that's the photo that we showed in the first part, CP, and that's what she was writing to. You had to deconstruct the photo and describe what you are, but don't tell us what you are. So that was the first exercise. Thank you. That was very nice, Terry. Thank you very much, Terry Rose. Okay, so now what I'm going to have you do, and this is going to take DY shared in the chat. Okay, let me see. DY wrote this. I am a rose without thorns because I was placed in a garden with no predators or prey. I am praying all day because that is my way. No need to defend, no need to fear. All are my family, all are near. All is well. Whoops, I lost it. Does anyone else see it? All is well. All is blessed. All is love. I am at peace. I am full and strong. My petals are red and my stems are long. I turn to the sky and I smile at the sun. I reach down below and my roots run on. Feedback from anyone? Feedback? Absolutely beautiful. Would anyone like to comment? Wow, I am a rose without thorns because I was placed in a garden with no predators or prey. I am praying all day because that is my way. No need to defend, no need to fear. All are my family, all are near. All is well, all is blessed, all is love. I easily rest. I am at peace. I am full and strong. My petals are red and my stems are long. I turn to the sky and I smile at the sea, at the sun. I reach down below and my roots run on. Absolutely beautiful, DY. That is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much, DY. Much appreciated.
It makes me think of a nun. Sister Puzzle.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting. Yeah. And it happens so often that sometimes we write off of what we hear other people write. So yeah, yes, it does. And it has a meditative, prayerful quality. No doubt about it. Very restful, very calm. And I tried to read it in a way that was very respectful and very, I think, soothing. At least to me, it came off that way. Very soothing, very meditative, very take a couple of beats moment. I hope I did it justice. Did I? Yes. Okay. Thank you, GUI. I'm glad I hope I did. I hope I captured what you wanted. Thank you. All right. This is going to be a little different, but that's why we do space triggering. These are two bottles. One is filled, one is empty. I want you to write a dialogue, or at least tell me what one says to the other. These two bottles, they have the power of osmosis, which means they can go back and forth. The liquid can move from this one to this one. The empty one and the full one. That's how I'm going to refer to them. The empty one says, wow, I am so glad I'm finally empty. I can now write poetry. I have so much to tell people. The full one is here. The full one says, are you kidding? I can't wait to get rid of all of this stuff. Or I'd be more than happy to give this to you. Let's share. Let's have half and half. You tell me if there's a dialogue, osmosis is possible. They can share the liquid or not. It's dialogue, one between the other, giving you 15 minutes, one between the other, or you can stay in the space of one or the other. The empty bottle, that's happy or sad, or the full bottle that wants to give up something to you. Remember, it can be osmosis. This is space triggering. You figure it out. What's the dialogue between them? You're on the clock. Space triggering. You tell me. 6 minutes remaining. Four minutes remaining. Two minutes. And please use the reaction button if you would like to share. It is not mandatory. I want you to be relaxed and enjoy the experience. It has been a wonderful experience for me. I thank Art in the Basin for this opportunity to share space triggering with you. Been a wonderful audience, and thank you. Thank you for attending. You know, I don't pay Michael, but he has been a super duper participant. And I met Anne. Thank you, Anne. All right, Michael, would you like to share? That would be wonderful.
Okay. Making sure there's no dead air here. Yeah, I remember back when I was all full of myself, just like you. I knew I packed one hell of a punch, and I wasn't shy about letting people know. I got labeled for being a bunch of a bit of a party all night kind of guy, but let me tell you, after a while, a lot sooner than you may think, boom, you're drained, feeling empty as can be, with no one left who loves you. I may have been living up on the penthouse. I was admired and sought after by the creme de la creme. But look at me now. I'm down here in the trash looking up at everything I took for granted. You think it won't happen to you? Yeah, you up there on your perch on that porch. Trust me, you are one, maybe two parties away from being just as low and empty as me, and pretty soon we will both be broke.
Oh my gosh, that was great. That was great. That was great. I enjoyed that. And the voice. And you add the voice to it. I tell you, no one can read your stuff better than you, Michael. I mean, that was really very good. Thank you so much. Yes, I enjoyed that. Yeah, one day you'll be right. Well, there I hear you. High on your horse, huh? Yeah, well, just a couple of parties away, huh? Oh well. Yeah. How true that is, Michael. Anyway, yes, those are perfume bottles. And yes, I totally exhausted one and bought another one. And I thought the idea that maybe they had a dialogue or were feeling sorry for themselves or full of themselves crossed my mind, which is why I added it to this workshop. I don't put you through anything I haven't already put myself through, just so you know. I test this stuff. And and I thought, wow, I haven't seen anyone do that before. And I think when you go to workshops, wherever you go for workshops, you like to be tested with something new and different. And I personally hadn't seen anything like that. So I thought the two bottles and the possibility of osmosis. Now, I used perfume bottles. You can use any kind of bottles you want that you might actually have available. May not be perfume. Who knows? Milk bottles, of course, right? That's what I was thinking you were thinking
Yeah,
of.
I kind of
Yeah.
turned mine into liquor.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, okay. We'll go with that, Michael. It's being taped. So, would anyone else like to share? Thank you very much, Mindy, for saying that you have the start of some pieces. I have 3-piece starts to pieces, and that was wonderful that again, the whole exercise is to give you an idea of what you might want to use in future work. I don't think I've ever written a complete piece in any particular open mic or workshop that I've ever attended, but I have been inspired by so many creatives that I've met. And that's part of what we do, be inspired by each other and get the little gray cells going so that we can, come up with wonderful masterpieces and everything else. So I do appreciate that. I would like to give the floor now to AJ because I would like her to talk about the work that Art in the Basin is doing.
Thank you so much, Diane Ward, and thank you everyone for showing up. Michael, you had the floor tonight. You really participated. Please come back again and participate in more of our workshops. We have something coming up in January Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, and you'll get the notices of when all of that is happening. Just a few things about Art in the Basin. We are getting ready for our season 7 at Motomore Coffee and Wine. So if you're in the Bronx or in New York City or just want to fly in and come say hi, we will be at 234 West 238th Street in the Bronx, just steps away from the 1 train. And we are starting out October 10th, 7 p.m. We will be live right here on YouTube. Words with Teresa Daly, who just published her she says it's her last book, but I don't believe her. Anyway, so come check her out. On October 24th, we'll have Words with Sydney Valerio and Comedy with Clyde Woodham, and live music. And on November 21st, Monomore Coffee and Wine, like I said, come enjoy music from Theo and Lewis, and it's going to be just another wonderful night at Art in the Basin. And if you guys want to join us online via Zoom, you could reach us at artinthebasin@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram. You can find us. We are so grateful for your attention and all the encouragement. I want to say a special thank you to Heather Archibald and General, oh, I'm sorry, I can't say that, Brian Franco for being AITB encouragers. We really appreciate all your encouragement, and it does go to helping to make the quality of our show a little bit better as time goes on. So thank you for 7 years, and thank you, Diane Ward, right?
But wait a minute, I have another piece by DY that she put in the chat. So I want to end on this note with one of my participants' works. This was the what was written. Oh, how I long to be empty, an empty vessel, free from this feeling of practically overflowing, spilling over the top and out of control, out of order, out and beyond. To be empty, to be still, to be quiet and filled with space and quiet. Oh, how I long to be full of love and life and juice, to be rich and dense with the peace of fullness within, filled with color, sound, beauty, and truth. I accept all. I accept all within. I hold and cradle everything as sacred. Another beautiful piece, DY. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for attending. I appreciate you. I hope that this was enjoyable. I don't like to be bored, so I don't bore other people. That's not the kind of instructor I am. And so thank you again. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Art in the Basin. Thank you, CP, Teresa, DY, Tim, Ann, Michael, Finn Bell, of course. Thank you again. Please be safe. And I hope you went away from this workshop with something that you can use in your creative journey. Thank you very, very much. I'm humbled by your presence.